It's the Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by ANZ Home Loans for financial well-beings.
Hey, welcome back to the end of another working week. Once again, heading into another weekend once we've got our Friday out of the way. And tomorrow, just a reminder, the Saturday morning property show is here. And we're going to be focusing on understanding the sales strategies and practices that can trip up property buyers. This can be a real nightmare to work through. You've got things like expression of interest, commonly referred to as EOI. Also, prices without a price guide. You know, you might be buying your second, third or fourth property. Can be infuriating for a lot of people. Then you've got the underquoting. This is a nightmare. Yes, in the real estate industry, we know of one individual in New South Wales who is being held to account. How can buyers protect themselves? We're going to ask that question tomorrow morning. It is a Friday, September the 5th, and here is our quote of the week.
They came about in the late 90s as soon as we deregulated the supervision of builders and developers on site and went to private certification. These products started streaming in from overseas, and essentially they're petrol. 1 square metre of aluminium composite panel cladding is equivalent to 5 litres of petrol. And we've got these on buildings all over the world and certainly in Australia. The focus has been on high-rise because of the deaths in Grenfell and because we had a major fire in Melbourne at La Crosse in 2014 where the building was evacuated. Fortunately, no one lost their life.
It's the Real Estate Podcast.
And a very good morning to Sunny. Oh, this is good. You said that you would have liked to have left a voice message, but we might not understand your voice. You say you are a long-time listener, and this is the first time that you've contacted us with regard to being in agreement with Rebecca, another listener, and her comments about Australia. Oh, and I should point out that Rebecca said this from last week.
I have to respond because I just heard you talk about someone from Australia. They're exiting or selling their portfolio for Dubai. And yeah, I completely agree. I've sold my portfolio here. I've purchased a few units off plan in Dubai, and yeah, it's just the way the structure is for the taxation and the work and getting ahead and having a lifestyle. It's just not here for my family and myself. So yeah, we're going to exit, and I plan to do this over the next 18 months or so.
So that was Rebecca, and Sunny in Brisbane says that she is right. Don't move to Australia. It's changed big time, you say, in 10 years. You are originally from New Zealand, where you say it is even worse. You moved to Australia 12 years ago for a better life. Now you are heading next year with your family to Dubai. You are in construction, and in brackets you've put hardcore. That set the fireworks off from Rebecca, also from you, Sunny, and perhaps you would like to make a comment as well. Let us know. And also good morning to Michelle. We got your email. You say that you are headed over to the UAE in November to start looking for a townhouse. You say that you've got no idea where to start, what areas to look at, although you have got a few that you are favouring, which I'll get to in just a moment. Real estate agents, the amount of real estate agents, you say, in the UAE is making your brain explode. You would like to connect with an agent who has been in the industry for a long period of time, and one of the criteria is for that person to be trustworthy and not looking to rip you off with the biggest commission. You say a couple of the areas that you're looking at is Arabian Ranches, Dubai South or Abu Dhabi. Good luck. Let us know how that all develops. And a question that I've got is anyone actually batting for Australia at the moment? Plenty of negatives out there. It seems that the land of the milk and honey is Dubai. And if you want to join the conversation, let us know where you are sitting on this very subject. You might be in another another country thinking, yes, I've got something to say on that, leave us a voice message. The link is below. So let's go to you, Mario, because as I say, milk and honey, it seems to be Dubai.
Well, you know, Craig, I'm always a big fan of Dubai, and clearly I'm happy to hear that listeners are also thinking the same way. But, you know, Australia has always been a bit of a lure to me. My wife's been, she says it's amazing, maybe more so from a visitor's point of view rather than actually living there. Being in Dubai, I'm actually probably as close as I'm ever going to be in terms of traveling. But it's good to hear the banter coming from one listener to another saying, come over here, don't come over here. So I would say, please keep these messages coming. It's quite amusing to actually hear this. Yeah, bring it on. I want to hear more about what people think of Dubai and other countries, in fact.
Property Finder, now they have done this survey study on the best areas for expats to buy their first home in the UAE. Interesting that these findings were based on factors such as rental returns, affordability, freehold access, growth, yield, and lifestyle. And you've got some more details on this.
Yeah, the key findings from this report highlighted the fact that actually Alhambra Village in Ras Al Khaimah emerged as the top destination, achieving an exceptional rental yield of 8%. Now, this area offers resort-style amenities and full freehold ownership with no major sales barriers, making it highly attractive to international buyers. Now, Emirates City in Ajman came second, distinguished by its ultra-affordable entry point of under 450,000 dirhams. The area delivers strong value with high yield and the lowest cost of living. Al Reem Island in Abu Dhabi completed the top three with full freehold status and a robust price appreciation potential supported by ongoing infrastructure development. Now, of course, Dubai is there as well. It dominated the balance of performances in the 7.3 to 7.9% rental yield ranges in areas such as JLT, JVC, and Business Bay. Back to Abu Dhabi, Sadia Island also gave strong growth potential, although the standout best price growth came from downtown Dubai, with 30 to 65% capital appreciation just over the last 12 months. Sharjah was also a standout winner for budget-conscious options in the Al Khan community. And lastly, the most prestigious lifestyle winner was, no surprising here, was my beloved Palm Jumeirah.
Yes, your beloved Palm Jumeirah, and quite a contrast between Palm Jumeirah and Ajman. Came in number 2 with the ultra-affordable price, 450 grand. You've heard Mario and I talking about Ajman. This is only going to increase as time goes on. Now, since we're talking about Palm Jumeirah, we know that Dubai loves a branded residence, and a new report by Arabian Business confirms this with a huge growth rate. Get a load of this, 160% in the past 10 years. So, Mario, you've got some more details. You love this, love talking about branded residence.
Not just branded residence. I love talking about sort of figures and letting people know how amazing Dubai is. So, yeah, look, Dubai now is home to 61 completed branded residences, and it's got more than 100 under development. Now, this actually represents the world's largest pipeline of such projects. Branded residences typically command around 40% premium compared to traditional properties. And so by 2031, 140 branded residence projects are set for delivery. Everybody will know these names, such as Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, Nikki Beach, Bulgari, Armani, Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, Jacob & Co., Missoni, and Frank Miller. Now, I'm sure I've missed a few out there, but these are just just a few branded residences currently under construction. Branded residences have demonstrated stronger resale values and faster sale cycles compared to non-branded in the same market segment.
Now, with more people, Mario, coming into Dubai, they typically rent, and naturally with all these people renting, there are these disputes between landlords and tenants. I know this is an area that you focus on quite a lot. You've got a weekly column that you write on this very subject about, which is why the formation of the Dubai Rental Dispute Centre has been at the forefront of rental issues between these parties. Now, you might be asking yourself, just how efficient is the centre at coming up with decisions and resolutions? So what have you got in terms of telling us more about this?
Yeah, Craig. So, actually replying to a lot of readers' questions for the national newspaper that I do write in my column, as you've mentioned, I have often wondered, actually, how long it takes and how quickly these resolutions can be done. But now I can tell you that the centre has settled over 190 million dirhams worth of disputes. Now, that was just in Q2 of this year. It achieved 443 reconciliations. That was between April and June. And I was super surprised to see that the average settlement period is actually just 6 days per case.
Now, if we just stay with the column before I let you go, for 2025, when you look back at that weekly column with regard to renters, what are some of the top 2 or 3 problems that you hear continuously? And it's like, oh goodness, surely people are getting this not to do this, but you've still got plenty of mail coming in on it.
Well, first of all, Craig, I need to say that I was approached by the National to write this column a while ago. And honestly speaking, I thought this was a gig that might last maybe 2-3 months at best. Well, I can tell the listeners that I've been writing it for 13 years and it's still going strong. And the question you've just asked me, actually, I asked myself, are people not getting it? But of course they are getting it, but there are so many new people coming to Dubai, so many people who don't really understand the laws or what can or cannot be done. And by the way, I don't just get emails from tenants, I get them from landlords as well. But in terms of the most common ones from tenants, it's, my landlord wants to raise my rent. Is he allowed to do so? Others are, I've given the property back in the manner that I got it, but the landlord is holding on to my deposit. When can I get it back? What are the legal ramifications? Another one is evictions. There are many ways, there are 4 ways legally a landlord can actually evict a tenant here. In doing so, they have to give 12 months notice so that the tenant has time to actually prepare for the move. But of course, sometimes we get unscrupulous landlords who try to buck the law, should I say, or circumnavigate the law. So I just advise people as to what the law states.
Every week, unravel the real estate market to help guide your real estate journey.
We arrive at a moment in an auction that we normally wouldn't be at. The idea of the heart pounding and the adrenaline rushing. They've explored their financial options and their ceilings and where they want to ideally spend.
And there is this sort of perceived, if you like, FOMO starting to creep back in. Like, the market is starting to turn. I've got to buy. And that can also lead to problems when you're at the auction.
Yes, I think everyone arrives at an auction if they're intending to bid, wanting to stay calm and confident. As I said, it's such an unusual situation that many people don't find themselves in on a regular basis. So keeping those nerves in check and keeping the head cool and clear can be a struggle. Key to it, having some sort of connection with your agent.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.